What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Anthony, Long Island Fish Guy here, and on today's video we're going to be doing an around the island update of all of my aquariums here in this fish room. If you guys do like this video, be sure to like the video, and if you're not subscribed to my channel already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any other content like this. There has been a boatload of updates here in the fish room. I've been working like crazy on a lot of different things. Quarantining fish, moving fish, shutting down tanks, starting up new tanks, so there's a lot of updates. Let's hop into it. All right, guys, so first up, we got the 220-gallon aquarium here. I'm not gonna go into every single update that I've done, just with like moving the fish. I'll just kind of tell you how the fish currently are now, and like kind of small updates here and there. But this is my 220. Overall, I want to make this my exotic tank. We got two AI Prime lights on here for fresh water. We got the two peacock bass. I think they're Kelberry. I'm pretty sure. Sometimes they display colors. Like this guy right here definitely displays colors like a Kelberry. This one kind of looks like a little bit like a mono. But I've had them for a long time. I've had them since they're about 2 inches big. We got the Datinoid. I've had him since he's about 2 or 3 inches. And then we have the Black Diamond Stingray and the Mini Marble Matoro. And then we have the Black Arowana. All these fish at one point were in the 125 over there, but that 125 has definitely had some adjustments. Also, my last video, I did have plants on basically just all over this, really deeply rooted into the wood. They're just gone now. So we got no plants inside this tank, but we do have some pothos on top over there. So I highly doubt we're going to be able to keep any sort of plants. I kind of wanted to go with like a more natural, kind of cool centerpiece look, but as these stingrays do grow, they are definitely going to, I'm definitely going to be pulling back a lot of the pieces of wood in there because they're obviously going to need their space. But a lot of growth for the fish since that we moved them into this tank. Here's a little size comparison. I mean, these peacock bass are really big. They're very large. And this is also, the Black Arowana has definitely put on some size as well. But that's kind of it for this tank. A lot of people sometimes also ask me about filtration. I got just two FX6s on here and then Aqua Clear 110 on the top. Going around the island here, we're going to go up next to the 75-gallon. Right there is just a quarantine setup. That my 29-gallon and a quarantine tank was underneath there, but kind of changed some things up. But basically finishing up my quarantining of a lot of fish I have right now. Right here is the Oscar tank, George. This is George's tank. No real big updates in this aquarium. I did a slight rescape. I added this piece of wood and got rid of that big, center piece that used to be in the center there. The pike has been super friendly with the Oscar recently, George. Typically they do pretty well with each other, but I've noticed that they've gotten a lot more like what the Jack Dempsey used to be like when it was with George. This female Jack Dempsey here, when it was in the 75-gallon with George, they used to literally always be at each other's sides, and I feel like this pike is finally getting to be like that with George the Oscar. Other than that, we got the Rhino Pleco, who's growing like a weed, and then we have a spotted Raphael catfish in that piece of wood. Again, no real big updates inside of this tank, guys, but George is doing really awesome. If you guys don't know George, or is your first time seeing George, George is known as one of the best looking Oscars on YouTube. He really is honestly one of the best looking Oscars. Displays really nice coloration, super orange, super dark in the blacks. Does a really awesome looking fish, and he's actually probably put on some size. My dad saw him for the first time in a couple of months, just like about a couple days ago, and he said George is looking really big, like bigger than usual. So he's definitely putting on some size. Next up, we got the 125. The 125 is basically transformed into I kind of want to make it a South American / Central American community tank. I do have some longer term plans that will make it not that, but it'll kind of always keep its roots of being that. There's not a single fish in here right now that's not either Central or South American, so it's currently it right now. Kind of grow out plans. This right here is a Spider Kelberry peacock bass. Doesn't really show the coloring right now on YouTube. On the video, you can kind of see the spangling on its body, but it's not really displaying the colors so great right now. But that is a Spider Kelberry. We have two true parrot cichlids in here. I've actually had them for a long time, just never really highlighted them on YouTube before. But this Which one's the dominant one? I believe it's this guy. This guy right here is the dominant one, and they've been brown, ugly fish for quite some time, but they're finally getting their nice blue coloration. And typically, they can't really live together, but I think that these guys have been together for so long, there's not really any fighting. They were literally together when I got them. They were probably about 1 inch. They're probably pushing about 6 or 7 inches right now. One other fish to cover, obviously, is the red wolffish. A lot of you guys love this guy. I love him too. He's probably, you know, in my top 3 favorite fish of mine. And I've always thought that you can kind of only keep them by themselves. They're super aggressive, hyper aggressive. You really can't keep them with anything else. But look at all the fish that he's with. I mean, he's with a boatload of other fish. Plecos, cichlids, catfish, you name it, he's with it. And he's doing really awesome in this tank. Occasionally will come, you know, he mainly stays in the corner here, but occasionally will come out and like swim around like with the other fish, which is amazing to watch because he's probably as big as this gar, I would say, maybe a little bit smaller. That's also a Florida gar. So they not the one that got to be about 8 feet. This is one that should only max out at about 2 to 3 feet. But that's kind of it, guys, on the 125. I love watching this tank, guys, because of the action. There's always a lot of commotion going on in the tank. There's going to be some updates as fish kind of grow out that need to go into that tank from this tank. This is a combination of what my 20-gallon and my 29-gallon were. This is a 40-gallon breeder, and I'm going to bill it basically as my community tank. It's got some purple spotted gudgeon in here. It has the archer fish in here, on top there. It also has a platinum bichir. That right there is a platinum bichir that's swimming around on top. He likes to hang out. That's why I leave my algae scraper up top over there, and he likes to hang out inside the plants and stuff. But there he is. This is a tank with a lot of tannins, so the white's really not coming out, but I mean, he's like super white, super platinum, and that's actually this is an African fish, but I do plan on putting him in that South American tank. I also have a couple of other bichirs in quarantine right now that'll go in here. But this tank has a lot of hoplo catfish, a lot of fancy plecos. There's a lot of fancy plecos in this tank too. In this tank we have the leopard cactus pleco, we have a rhino pleco, a sunshine pleco, a vampire pleco. There's a boatload of plecos in here. I'm not even gonna go through all of them. They're all fancy plecos though. Fish that are probably gonna grow out of this tank are the archers. I think I'm gonna get a bigger school of archers, maybe add to the school. These are the clouded archers. They're full fresh water. I've had them for probably about 6 months now, and they probably put on about 1 inch since I've had them. I have 3. I plan on probably getting about 3 to 5 more. And just kind of getting a bigger school, growing them out and putting them into the 125. I'd love to put them into the 220, but they'll probably get eaten because these guys only max out at about a thick 4 inches, not 4 to 5 inches or so. That's basically it. There is this beardless barb here. That fish gets pretty big. I'll probably have to go into the 125 at some point, but I've had that fish again since it's about, I don't know, maybe about 1 inch or 2. And he's probably about 4 to 5 right now. I don't really like covering quarantine tanks in my videos, but I'm going to just for the purpose of my last video. So I have one, by the way, there's a quarantine tank here and there's a quarantine tank there. There used to be a boiler back there, but now it's kind of like my storage area, and I have my desk over there now. What we're going to do is basically put a new set of outlets behind there and a curtain, and that's gonna be my quarantine room. So there will be only 4 tanks here: the 220, the 75-gallon, the 125, and the 40-gallon in here. And then behind there in the separate room, we're gonna have all of our storage and quarantine fish. But we have this 20-gallon. In this tank, we have a pike. That is a rose-tailed pike. I have another smaller black arowana right over there. We have another fancy pleco in the corner on the ground, a shovel-nosed lima, and then the tigrinus. I love this tigrinus. If you guys didn't watch my last video, I got this tigrinus from Global Fish Co. I did an unboxing video. If you guys haven't checked it out, be sure to go ahead and check it out. Honestly, guys, love this fish. I can't say it enough. I can't stress it enough. Mainly hides or swims like how he's currently swimming right now in the corner there until it's feeding time. And once it's feeding time, it goes berserk. It goes into like ultimate like predatory mode, and it's just awesome the way he eats. Maybe I'll put a video right here just to kind of show you guys what that looks like. Just super cool. So happy with this fish. I'm gonna have to grow him and the black arowana inside of this aquarium out inside the 125, but ultimately the black arowana and that tigrinus there are going to go into the 220. Like I said, they're just going to have to grow out. This pike will definitely go into the 125 long term. It actually stays pretty small and is actually a pretty non-aggressive pike from what I've heard. Shows literally no aggression with any of the other fish in here. So, and then that pleco on the bottom is probably going to go into the 40 or the 125, but probably the 40. And then the shovel-nose lima will always stay in the 125. These fish are probably ready to go in there right now. I do just need to finish one more round of internal parasite medication just for preventative. I don't think anyone actually has parasites. Oh, and there's the sunshine pleco. Great looking pleco. Just went into hiding there. Oh, and there's the leopard cactus pleco. The plecos just kind of jump across the tank, and we sometimes get to cherish the way that they look. Just really awesome there. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of really awesome dope fish down here in this fish room. Do hope you guys did enjoy this video and all the updates we do have here. But that's gonna be it for this video. So if you guys did like this video, be sure to subscribe. Check out some of the other content here on my channel. Ding that notification bell if you already subscribed. Most importantly, don't forget to fish on.